I had things set up for my live stream, and I forgot to press the um, button that would be the notification. So I apologize, guys. I'm on Amazon. I'm looking up a couple books. I was watching our friend Burpee Reaper a few minutes ago. He was getting, I believe, 200 202 pumps, as it was 2 pumps, right? As it is 2 pump Tuesday. Our friend Optimob is here. Optimob, how are you? Give me a second. I'm gonna bring up my desktop. Easier to see. How's your day been, Optimob? I know it's later for you. Do you still have friends visiting from Germany? Are they still staying with you? I figured come on, do a live stream, maybe for an hour or so. We'll see what happens. If some people show up, they want to chat, or not. I have very much enjoyed the last couple live streams. Some new people show up, get to know some new friends, and the subjects go all over the place. Timo says hi, and I get a wave. How's everything with you, Timo? Do you still have friends visiting from out of town? One second, guys. There we go. Kayor, am I saying that right? Like what? Is that India? Says hello and greetings. Hello, my friend. How are you? Xavier the Beast says hello. Xavier, how are you? Kayor says, a lot of books in the shops I see. Yep, a lot of books. I got more this way. And I got more books in the next room. Some in the hallway, some in the room down the hall. A couple bookshelves downstairs, as well as down in the basement. We got 3 or 4 bookshelves. Optimob says it is road trip. I saw the one that you put up. Awesome. Tima says that no, they are home. I'm sure they had a great visit with you. Kayor says, yes, India. How about you? I'm from the United States on the East Coast, in the state of Maryland. Xavier the Beast says, good. Glad to hear that. Real Mafton says, hello. I'm from India. How are you, man? I'm doing good. We got 2 people here from India. We had some visitors from India yesterday as well. So is this the road trip that you had up in your channel today, or is this a different one? Timo says, greetings to India. Kira says, Kiyor. I'll get it right. I'll keep practicing. I apologize for getting it wrong. That's dope. Man, you seem a man of wisdom. That's debatable. That is debatable. What might be wisdom for one person, might not be for another. I need just enough wisdom to navigate my life with an open, loving, forgiving heart. If I can get that down packed, I'll be happy. Tima says, we hope so. We hope that our guests liked it. I'm sure they did. I can't imagine how they wouldn't. I bet you and Sabine and Bax are gracious hosts, and they're in one of the most beautiful parts of the world. William says, nice, good to know. Anyway, what's your hobbies? Well, I used to be an ultra runner, but I'm kind of semi-retired. I do a lot of workouts, body weight stuff. I walk a lot. I do nature filming. I read a lot. I meditate. I practice and teach meditation and breath work. I practice yoga. That's about it. I hang out with our friend Laradox. It's a full-time job. How are you, Laradox? Laradox says, I see some new people in the chat, and I just want to say I subscribe to you all. And by the way, I'm trying to get to 1K subs. So any support to my channel would be appreciated. I saw you posted something new, Laradox, but I haven't been able to get there yet. I will. I see you're at 536. I see you asking for some content ideas. Oh, man, everything skipped ahead. Emma Gray says, yo, Eric, how it be? It'd be pretty good. How are you? Emma is one of my favorite names. Just a pretty name. William says, Afton says, oh, nice. How about you? What are your hobbies, William? Follow Me Global says, oh my God, it's Dave. You tracked me down, my friend. Kayor says, oh, yoga meditation, most of the elements of it derive from Buddhism and Hinduism. Exactly. As well, Buddhism itself is derived from Hinduism. Siddhartha, the Buddha, was actually a yogi. Follow Me Global says, Dave, WYS. I don't know what the last part is. Our friend Bumblebee T is here. Says, hi, y'all. T, how are you? Laradox drops his link. If you guys want to subscribe to Laradox. He's a good young man. Follow Me Global says, I've subscribed. Nice. Follow Me Global says, I'll sub too. Appreciate that, guys. He's a good young man. I think you'll like him. Emma says, yeah, good, thanks. You're welcome. T says, hi to Yogi. That's me. Laradox says, Yogi, follow me, global, subscribed. Let's see. Cheeseman says, you kind of look like Beetlejuice, bro. I don't have the hair for it. I don't have the hair for Beetlejuice. Let's see. Kurt says, well, not really. There was no Hinduism at the time of Buddha. There were some various pagan practices, which were in the late 1800s terms together as Hinduism. Yeah, traditionally he was a yogi. He sought out the great Vedic masters, studied meditation with them, didn't find what he was looking for, sat under the Buddha tree and said, I'm not going to move until I'm awakened. And he did. Laradox says, yay. Squirrel Sniper says, greetings again, Eric in chat. Greetings, my friend, Squirrel Sniper. Follow Me Global says, that's rude, man. You get that all the time on YouTube. T says, hi to Optimum, Cheese, Global, and Emma. What do you mean Beetlejuice is a legend? He is a legend. That's true. Gregory says, excellent job. Hello, my friend Gregory. Nice to see you. Keith says, hi to Squirrel. Follow Me Global says, bro. Paradox just subscribed to the Cheese Man. Paradox says he's subscribing to everyone, no matter if they sub back or not. Nice. Our friend Laradox would be happy to hear that, Kiyor. That, yeah, but still have to find no perfect man than Jesus. Fully man, fully God. I was born in a Hindu family, but converted to Orthodox Christianity. Laradox says he's a Christian. Like I said, I knew Laradox that would catch his attention. He'd be happy to hear that. Squirrel Sipper says, follow me global. It's okay. He's just jesting. More importantly, everything is based upon how we receive it. If I perceive something as an insult, that means, one, I'm coming straight from the ego. And two, that means, well, I'm insulted. I have to be outraged. I have to act this way. I have to do all the stuff that my ego says I'm supposed to do. However, if I just take it for what it is, as, for one, as Squirrel Snippet says, just jesting, or two, it's just words on a screen. I don't have to take it any way or the other. And in that means everyone's welcome. Everyone's open, that I can have unconditional love for everyone that comes in, no matter what they offer. It's looking past the substance. Laradox says, I believe Jesus Christ died on the cross for our sins. Laradox is happy. Good for you. Very wise words from our friend Squirrel Sniper. The ego will always take it as business when it's none of our business. Absolutely. I remember the title of that book from the 1980s. What you think of me is none of my business. Because it doesn't happen in my head. It's just happening in someone else's head. Everything's an opportunity. Can I stay centered in peace? Can I choose kindness? Can I choose love? I don't need to get my ego involved. Man, my ego has been involved in everything in my life. And mostly has made a mess of things. So I'm tired of the mess. Which is why the past few years, even after decades of being on a spiritual path, the last few years have been one big, long surrender. Letting go of a lot of things I didn't want to let go of. You don't have a choice. Don't have a choice in what you let go of. Laradox says, guys, I'm not forcing, but just to remind, I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs, so any support would be appreciated. Thank you. Here says, I've fallen to many sins, like porn, but I feel like I'm the worst sinner. I have been seeking help from the Almighty. Sometimes I think meditation will help to control my feelings. Meditation doesn't so much help to control the feelings as it does to give you an awareness of those feelings. And when you have awareness, you are creating an allowing place for change to happen. In A Course in Miracles, they say, don't try to change your behaviors. You will always fail, 100%. Don't go directly to the behavior itself. Go to the source of the behavior. Change your thoughts, and the behavior itself will change. It's cause and effect in reverse. Everyone goes to the effect. They never get to the cause. They overeat, they go on a diet, thinking, I'm going to get the effect. That's going to work. It doesn't, because the urge to overeat is still there. When you go off the diet, that urge is still there and it will come back. Change the thought system itself. And you do that through awareness. You do that through forgiveness. Laradox says, okay, I'll stop self-promotion. Hey, Laradox, feel free to promote. Space it out a bit. You know what I mean? That way, when you get new people in, they'll be able to see your stuff. Our friend CDP says, we can't change the wind, but we can adjust our sails. Beautifully said. Travel safe all, and remember to click like for Eric. It's free and kind. Thank you, my friend. This is what CDP does. He shows up and he just spreads loving message wherever he goes. And then he's off like the wind, doing it somewhere else. I'm 100% sure. A legend. T says, Zeradox, you would get my sub if you stop begging. By the way, I can't work out how to unblock you. Yeah, there's got to be a way. Zeradox says, my friend actually has been struggling with porn addiction, etc. I've had my own battle with addictions. I've mentioned before. Well, there was smoking. There were some drugs in the 80s, but I was never addicted. I couldn't afford the stuff that would be addictive. But in the 90s, for whatever reason, I started drinking and I took to it like a fish drinking beer. And I spent almost the entire decade drinking. And working my way to oblivion. And I was given a true moment of grace. And alcohol left my perimeters, left my life, simply and easily. Kira says, Zeradox, I do, brother, but I'm still suffering. I feel lost, but I wake up with hope every day and sleep with despair. Let's see. Zeradox says, it's fine, B, but stat does unlock. I dislike giving advice because, hey, what do I know? I could be wrong. My suggestion, Gabriel, would be to give up the struggle. Give up the struggle. Relax. Be easy on yourself. Go deep within and find out what it is that is driving you towards doing something that you take to be harmful for your emotional, mental health. Examine it. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of the addiction itself. Dive into it. Look at it. Become the witness, the observer to it. Just by witnessing it, things begin to change. But you got to do it sort of dispassionately. CDP says, Zeradox, I'll subscribe, my friend. Nice. Zeradox says, well, Jesus is my path, but the question is, will it be yours? Let's see. Tanahan, how close was I to getting that right? Says, hello, what's up? Hello, my friend. Mr. Poopinator is here. Hey, thank you for that, Mr. Poopinator. Awesome. How are things with you? Zeradox says, I don't watch porn. It's bad for the brain, and it's not good, and not good as a Christian. I would agree that it's not good for the brain. It's not good because it exploits women. However, Jesus himself did not explicitly state an opinion one way or the other on pornography. When I talk of Jesus, I talk of Jesus, what he said, not what anyone else said, not what someone in the clergy, not what a church says, directly to the source. As well, you can be in direct communication with Jesus yourself. Ask Jesus, what's good for me? What's bad for me? Throw your hands up in the air. In A Course in Miracles, it says, ask the Holy Spirit. Let the Holy Spirit make decisions for you. Otherwise, you're making a decision making a choice with your ego. And as I mentioned again, the ego is giving me nothing but trouble. For the most part. T says, I haven't had the focus to find out about unblocking. I'm focusing on less stress right now. That's where you want to keep your focus for sure, T. Miss Pupiner says, fart from me, bro. I'm going to see what I can work up for you by the end of the conversation. Today could be the day. Paradox says, that's nice poop. Kiara, Squirrel Sniper says, Kiara, what is your fear? And we get some poop emojis from Miss Poopinator. What else? Paradox says, looks like he is going through some rough times and he needs Jesus. He might. He might not. Let's see. Sorry, guys. I lost track a bit. Paradox says, that's just me. I understand other people have different beliefs. Certainly do. Our friend Ryan is here. Rai420 says, hey, brother Eric. Ryan, how are you, my friend? How's your day been? And Wolf is here. Says, hi, Yogi. Wolf, how are you? How is Barb? Kenya says, thanks, Eric, brother, for the advice. You're welcome, my friend. I'm always happy to talk to you. If you happen to be on Facebook, you can look me up, Eric McCarty. We can talk one-on-one if you want. Optimob says, hey to Rai. Mr. Poopinator, 99-cent poop. Very much appreciated. Now I feel obligated to poop. Now I feel obligated to fart. Ryan says, hey to Laradox. All right, I'm going to skip some of the highs so we can get caught up. Let's see. Kayur says you have a Sanskrit tattoo on your hand. On my forearm. It means to forgive. I have Hebrew on the back of my neck. I have the elf, which is the symbol for the infinite. Laradox says, that's true, Yogi. I'm not sure what's true. That's the problem with some of the news and track, is I forget. What did I say that was true? Hey, I see that our friend, the Empress, is here. I missed her entrance. Had I noticed it at first, I would have made a big intro to the one and only Empress of a New Earth. The most fitting title of any channel possible, because our friend Empress is literally ushering in a vision of the new Earth. Not just for her. It starts with her. It always starts with one person. Course of Miracles says, do not seek to change the world, but seek to change your perception of the world, and then everything changes. Meaning, you are not only your own salvation, you are the world's salvation. Empress says, hi, Eric. Hi, beautiful chat. Squirrel Empress says, the Burpee Reaper. I missed the Burpee Reaper. There he is. Hello, beautiful YouTube family. Reaper, how was the workout? I was there for a bit. I knew it was going to be a serious workout, as I mentioned in the chat, because Reaper had his socks pulled all the way up. You know you're in for some serious reps when you pull the socks up. Hey, is there anyone here who is not subscribed to the Burpee Reaper? Because we can bump him up. He's at 975. We've got 25 reps to go. I know we got some new people hanging out here. Guys, if you click and subscribe to the Burpee Reaper, one, it would be much appreciated by me, by Burpee Reaper, by his friends, but as well, you guys are in for a treat because you're going to see one dedicated, inspired, strong individual. He shows up and puts in the reps, and he inspires other people to do the same. Therodox says, you make excellent points, Yogi. On occasion. You know what they say about the blind squirrel, though. Wolf says, when Jesus was here in person, porn was not much of a problem. I don't know. Some of that stuff carved in a tree. Some of that stuff up on a cave wall. It got pretty racy. T says, Wolfie's seen comments now. One thing to remember, people lose sight of nowadays. Jesus in that gives social commentary. He talked of love. He talked of welcoming strangers. How do we treat people? He talked of forgiveness. He talked of being meek. He talked of being kind, being compassionate. He offered no real social commentary. That's all been filled in. That's all recent. And yet somehow the two have been so connected. No one communicates with Jesus anymore. They communicate with the church. They communicate with their clergy. Get on your knees and truly, truly pray and see what comes to you. Pray to the point where you're hearing only silence as a return, where you're no longer hearing your ego telling you what you think you should be doing, what you think you should believe. When you can do that, come back and talk to me about Jesus. Until then, what you're giving me is an opinion based on what someone else gave you. Isn't bad. Hey, if that helps you through life, I'm all for anything that helps people through life. But we should call it for what it is. Just my thoughts. Therodox says, my only family blood related to me is my niece and my aunt who lives with me. Well, I'm glad you have them, Therodox. It's always nice to count the people that we do have. Optimov says it's 11:36 p.m. I would like to say good night and nice evening to you all. Thank you, my friend. Very much appreciate you spending some time with us. I hope you guys are subscribed to our friend Optimob. This is Timo, his companion Sabine, his wife Sabine, and their Wonder Dog Bax. One of the all-time best channels on YouTube. Wolf says hi to the Empress. Optimov says tomorrow is a new day. It certainly is, my friend. Therodox says, Empress of the New Earth, I just followed you on YouTube. Nice. Maui says, hey fever. Is that hey fever? Or is that hey everyone? Now I know what we're talking about. Hey everyone. Maui, how are you? Wolf says, blessings to Optimom. Have a wonderful night and wonderful day ahead. Good night, my friend. Have a good night's sleep. You and Sabine. Empress says, Therodox, thank you. Our friend Destiny is here. Happy Tuesday's blessing. How are you? Just Yogi in his doing burpees in his basement. Man, I can't even get my own title out of my mouth right now. I'm doing good, Destiny. How are you? Wonderful to see you. Jacob is here. Sorry, I'm going to back up here. Alana is here. Alana, how are you? How old is your baby today? Therodox says, hi, Alana, how's the kid? Reaper says, 420, what's up? Appreciate you being on my live. Alana says she's back. Reaper says, Therodox, I got one of those tattoos. Oh, Therodox says, I love tattoos, especially those with a cross. Now, you say you follow the Old Testament. You know, the Old Testament frowns upon tattoos. Something to keep in mind. You also want to watch mixing your fabrics and eating shelled fish. Reaper says, I'm sorry to say, but the vanilla vegan protein shake was a no-breno. 3 out of 5. I'm sorry to hear that. At least you like the chocolate though, right? Emperor says, I'm sorry, I meant Laradox. Laradox says, Burpee Reaper says, Laradox, I got one of those tattoos. Nice. Laradox says, for real? Yep, he doesn't make stuff up. Emperor says, Eric, I want to come to see you to borrow kettlebells. We could work something out, for sure. Ryan drops the link for Burpee Reaper. Nice, thank you for that, Ryan. Laradox says, I'll never show my niece on camera. My aunt will let me. It's a safe policy. Reaper says, oh, you know who killed it? Who's that? Laradox says it's a weird situation. All right, I'm going to do my best to catch up here, guys. I'm going all the way to the bottom. I'm going to work my way towards the top. If I've missed some comments, please just remind me. Our friend Relaxing is here. Hey, it's been a little while, my friend. How are you? Let's see. Relaxing says, someone keeps all-time, I can't make out that. Spying me? Next time we'll report channels. Thanks. What's going on, my friend? Laradox says, that's interesting, Yogi, about the Old Testament. I'm now thinking about my life choices. So you're going to give up mixing certain fabrics? You're going to give up shellfish? Thing, I don't want to give, Laradox, I don't want to give you advice. You find a path that works for you, you stick with that path. For now. When your heart tells you it's time for a change, it'll be time for a change. You don't need an old burpee telling you, giving his opinion on stuff. My only thoughts, really, if you follow Jesus, the Jesus of your heart, not a Jesus that is in any kind of a church, but the one that you can talk to, the one that guides you, the one is a living presence that doesn't tell you to dislike anyone. Open, allowing, accepting. If Jesus forgave those who tormented him on the cross, not just forgave, he said, forgive them, Father, for they know what they do. He looked and he saw their innocence. And he asked no less than us. Can we look past and see everyone's innocence? Not that I'm not calling anyone out, but if you look at someone and you say, well, they're a sinner, you're not looking at their innocence. Certainly, Jesus could have said, Father, these people have sinned against me. He didn't say that. He said they know not what they do, which means he saw their innocence and he asked for forgiveness. That's the essence of forgiveness. Theodox says a kid that Alana has is back from the future. Is he 16, 17 now? So I know I have missed some stuff. I apologize. Kaz Rose, hello, my friend. How are you? Sorry I missed you earlier. Not to judge myself, but I might quite possibly be the worst live streamer on YouTube. Thank you, Jacob, for dropping these links. Laradox says, I'm always going to be a Christian. Laradox says, I'm following the Jesus that I know. I don't always get that impression, but who am I to say, Jesse Leon says, hi. Hello, Jesse. Jacob says, hey, and salute to you all. Rocking says, I'm your friend, but you never unlocked. There, I share your link. How are you, my friend? What do you mean I never unlocked? I appreciate you being my friend, and I definitely consider you my friend as well. Wolf says, Laradox, I hope you will, but later in life you might find another path to walk along with your Christian ways. This is true. Laradox says, good night, Yogi, best streamer. Well, thank you for that. Laradox has to go. I'll be here, Laradox. Thanks. I just need one more sub. Is there anyone here not subscribed to Laradox? So the wonderful thing about, for me, yoga is an open, all-inclusive path. It's not a religion. It's a thought system. Nothing to do with beliefs. You don't have to believe anything to practice yoga. It opens you up energetically. And when you're open energetically, you're aware. And when you are aware, everything's possible. I have studied, not extensively, but for a long time, Buddhism. I practiced Buddhist meditation for quite some time. And it's another thought system. A lot of people take Buddhism as religion. Really, it's a psychology system. I am a student as well as teacher, because in the Course in Miracles, it says that we are teachers and students because we teach what we need to learn. And what the Course tells us to teach is love. Teach only love, because that's who we are. And again, it is a system of psychology that we are removing the obstacles that keep us from the realization of our reality as love. Jesus is supposed to be the author of A Course in Miracles. You don't have to believe it, though. It's cloaked in Christian language, but you can overlook that. It's better said as almost a Western version of Vedanta or Buddhism. Again, it's a psychology that we are seeing. It tells us that we are seeing the world through our perception, and our perception is based upon our projections. We are projecting fear, our fear that we are small, limited, egoic selves only. Projecting the fear that we are impermanent, that we can die, that we are subject. We're just the body, we're just the brain. All that is being projected out. So we see separation, we see turmoil, we see warfare, we see crime, we see all this stuff. And then we pray and we ask for change. Except again, just like I was talking about earlier, what's happening is we're going to the effect. And we're saying to the effect, please change. An effect can never change. You have to go to the cause. And the causes are erroneous thoughts. We're thinking as an ego, as a separate thing that doesn't even exist. The ego, according to neuroscience, it's just a thought system. A very potent one that keeps coming back over and over again, but no less, it's a thought. We have moments when it doesn't exist. Deep, deep sleep, there is no ego. And yet, somehow, you still exist. Let's see. Oh, Empress just subscribed to Laradox. Thank you. Let me dive back in. Jacob says I got to go, but try my best to share everyone's link. You do a wonderful job, my friend, but it was an honor to be part of your live stream again, brother Mr. Yogi. Thank you. Blessings to all. Blessings to you, Jacob. Thank you, my friend. Wolf says blessings, Jacob. There is no finer human being than our friend Jacob. Destiny says, thanks everyone for joining Yogi for his live discussion. Your presence here is very much appreciated. Blessings and love to you all. Thank you, Destiny. Jesus was not Christian. Very well said, Wolf. I mentioned that before, and Buddha was not a Buddhist. You can most certainly follow the ways of Jesus without being a Christian. In my opinion, just me, my opinion means absolutely nothing. We are better served by following the presence of Jesus, opening our heart to Jesus, but not being a practicing Christian. If you're a practicing Christian, it means you have to obey the laws of the church. which might be opposed to the very teachings of Jesus himself. You won't go anywhere in the New Testament and find and Jesus said, hate this person, block this person, allow this person to starve, keep this person out of your country, build a wall, do this. I'm not getting political. I don't get political here. When people ask me my politics, it's always the same answer. My politics is kindness. My politics is love. That doesn't have a leader other than you. Each of us. This is why Gandhi said, be the change you want to see in the world. But you can't do that, getting back to what I was saying, you can't do that by going to the cause. How many times have we protested wars? How many laws do we make to prevent crime? What about the war on drugs, or the war on this, or the war on that? Has it ever worked? Just as many people use drugs now as ever before. So what do? We can only change ourselves, and the only way we do that is not going to the cause, but going to the source. And the source is our misguided thoughts. We don't realize that we are, in essence, reality, love itself. Remove all the obstacles that keep us from that realization, and the world changes. It has to, because our perception of the world has changed. When the perception of the world has changed, we're liberated. We're free. Alana is back. Hello, my friend Alana. Wolf says his teachings are the fundamentals of Christianity. The fundamentals. I agree. My question would be, how far have we strayed from the fundamentals? And can we get back? Does anyone want to get back? Destiny says, we live in a world of metaphors, and we all the time speak in parables. Nicely said. Beautifully said. This is why, the Tao Te Ching begins with the Tao that can be told is not the true Tao. And in A Course in Miracles, it says, words are but symbols twice removed. They are representations of reality, but not reality itself. However, within the illusory world, they certainly can shape. But if you want to change the illusion, you have to change your thought system. You have to see past the illusion to the reality of love itself. I'm going to take my little herbal sleep supplement, guys. But of course, the discussion isn't to, it's definitely not to convert anyone to my way of thinking. However, if it helps any of us examine anything that we're thinking that causes us suffering, all the better. If you are on a path that has opened your life to love, to forgiveness, if you're open and expressive and creative and inspired, and you're enjoying life, awesome. 100% awesome. However, if you are suffering, remember, suffering's optional. That doesn't mean sorrow is optional. It doesn't mean grief is optional. It doesn't mean pain is optional. Those are all aspects of life. Suffering is I'm talking about the psychological suffering. That's an addition. That's when we are refusing to accept reality. If we're experiencing grief, we experience grief. Suffering comes in when we're experiencing grief and we say, I hate this. I don't want to feel this way anymore. I want what I lost back. I want my life the way it used to be. Now we're suffering because it's not going to come back. Grief in and of itself is a beautiful expression of love. It's meant to break us open so that we can experience there's really no such thing as loss. No matter how we view it. If you wanted to view it from the lens of quantum physics, we see energy can't be created nor destroyed. That which was, is. and will always be in a different form. But I think about losing my dad 2 years ago. And if I think just in scientific terms, which he would love because he was a science teacher, um, the molecules that made him up are still in existence right now. They are now a molecule of something else. The atoms that made up those molecules are still in existence. They're atoms of something else right now. The particles that made up those atoms are still in existence, and they are the particles of something different right now. And yet they were the ones that physically came together and expressed my Father. What about the energy that draws all those particles together to form the atom? What about the energy that draws all those atoms together to form a molecule, and the molecule is a cell, and the cell a human body? What about them? It's still in existence. It's energy. It's divinity itself. Eric LaPointe says we are all stardust. Absolutely. Absolutely. Largely carbon as well. Everything that we are comes from the very beginning, the essence, the Big Bang, and whatever it was that caused the Big Bang. I absolutely love Genesis, one of my favorite books of the Bible, that we were dust, we were mud, we were clay, until we were given the breath of God. The breath of God, we could liken it to prana in yoga. Destiny says, we all live in our own truth. What a person believes is their truth. Who gives another person the right or freedom to try what a person believes? Life is choice driven. Destiny says, nice. Or, I'm sorry, Eric Point says, nice. To a certain extent, I agree. To another extent, I sort of see things differently. If we see our life as ego-based, then we see the ego having these choices. When the ego disappears, if only for a moment, we sort of see what Krishnamurti called choiceless awareness. Things appearing spontaneously. And when things appear spontaneously, again, it's choiceless. However, in that spaciousness itself comes this inner prompting of spirit. Every choice I've made has been wrong. And by I mean the ego. Because the ego always says something is separate, something is distant, something is far, something is other than myself. However, every choice that has been made outside of the ego, which wasn't my choice, it was spirit itself. When I keep saying I'm referring directly to ego. That's when all the good stuff has happened to me. When I let, in A Course in Miracles, they would say, you're literally letting the Holy Spirit make these choices for you. Because again, all my choices have been wrong. Course in Miracles says we have two voices in our head. The voice of the ego, which is always wrong, because it's always demanding. Things should be my way. I have beliefs, I have opinions, I have a thought system, I have this, I have that. The other voice, which is always right, is the voice of love. Always, always right. Love, the most beautiful, gives me an opportunity to Google and to read. Comes right up immediately. I absolutely love this from St. Paul. Love is patient, love is kind. It's not jealous, it's not pompous. It is not inflated, it is not rude. It does not seek its own interest. It's not quick-tempered, it does not brood over injury. It does not rejoice over wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never fails. That's you. That's me. Reality. Alana says, my baby is doing well. She goes to church every day. Awesome. Happy to hear that. On both counts. I'm happy that your baby is well, and I'm happy that you go to church every day. Destiny says we all have our own truth and beliefs. It's our birthright to freedom. Thanks for your time and for sharing your channel. Peace out, and we'll see you later. Take care, my friend. Appreciate you spending some time with us, as always. So, probably maybe talk for about 10 or 15 minutes, guys. Eric Point says, bye, Destiny. Hey, Eric, right when I was leaving Reapers, I saw that you said that you were going to do some reps. Did you get in some reps with Reaper? Did you get your 50? Your 50 in? Destiny says, blessings, blessings and love, Eric Lapointe. Bye for now. Eric Point says, yeah, I did about 30 with Lewis. Nice. 2 pumps. It is 2 pump Tuesday. Thomas Fahey has set a trend. 2 pump Tuesday. It's now officially a thing. Reaper says, 2 pump Tuesday. Eric says, yes, got my 50 in, and yes, all 2 pumps. So you got your 50 in along with the 30 that you did with Reaper? So you did 80? Or you got 30 later on? Or you got 20 earlier? Alana says, I have to go feed my baby girl. Once again, congratulations, my friend. So Reaper said the vanilla vegan shake was not good. Reaper says, well, if you did 50 2-pump, that's 100 push-ups, right? Yep. Lana says, thanks again, my friend. You're welcome. Says Eric says, I bet I got around 60 to 70. Nice. That's a good day's worth of work in anyone's books. Not every... I like the thought what Burpee King does. You set that bare minimum, and you get it. And then you have those opportunities where you go all out. And as Reaper pointed out, was it yesterday or the day before? When he wants to go all out, he can go all out. And that's because he gets that daily work in every day. He's got that foundation, the fundamental. Not to mention, he's just strong. I mean, you've seen some of his gym work. He's putting up, what, 320 on the bench, 340? The Lee says, I've been working out for about 2 weeks now, and I'm feeling great. Today is leg day and shoulders. Nice. What kind of workouts are you doing? You doing weights? You doing body weight stuff? Lana says, before I leave, I will send you a picture of the baby. Nice. Eric Lapointe says, nice, little Lee. Yeah, always really good to hear people starting their workouts. And 2 weeks in, that means now it's a routine, you know? Doesn't take much. And once you start, you know, as Lee says, feeling great, once you start feeling great, that's all the momentum that you need to keep showing up. Why would you, when you have that comparison, most people, when they don't feel well because of not working out, because of not eating right, they don't realize that they don't feel well. They know something's wrong, but you get settled into this is how it's supposed to be, because this is how it is. You're supposed to have a little bit of a stomach at the age of 40 because your metabolism slows down. You're supposed to be, you know, a little slower, your recovery, whatever. Um, but is it true? If we never examine it, we don't know. Burpee Reaper's 40. He could tell you otherwise. You don't have to be out of shape at 40. Eric the Point says, good point. But once you have that comparison, once you start feeling how better life can be, when you have some good health, when you have some good mobility, mobility is key to everything, more so than strength, more so than even cardiovascular health. And I'm all for both. I think you should be strong and you should be fit, but without mobility, I know powerlifters who've been doing it forever who are still bull strong, can still put up huge amounts of weight. However, they've lost mainly through diet. They've lost a great deal of mobility. And they have a hard time. Look at Ronnie Coleman, great bodybuilder. Now I think he might be around my age. He's still strong. He's also confined in a wheelchair most of the time because he's lost his mobility. That's why it's always good. You get that, the minimal approach, not overdoing it. Being strong is great, but when I was training people, and I would train some older people in their 40s and 50s, and they'd say, well, I still want to get 17-inch arms. I still want to bench 300 pounds. But at a certain point, you surrender the ego for mobility, flexibility, good health, strong cardio, and a strong, fit body. This is why when our friend, was it Canal? Is it Canal? When he would go into Reaper's live stream and say, man, lift some weights. You're too skinny, you're too this. Man, why would anyone... For me, Reaper looks like a warrior. This is what you're supposed to look like. This is the guy that can put some weight on his back and run and walk for long distances. This is the guy that could pick up and throw a spear. He could hurl a rock at you. He could outrun you. He could probably outfight you. We're supposed to be lean and fit. You're not going to maintain, if everything goes south, society heads south, you're not going to maintain your bulk very easily. Not unless you got a whole lot of canned goods down in your basement. And maybe they do. Let's see. Our friend T says, Yogi, sorry I stepped out. Don't forget your herbal supplement. Thank you, T. I actually did take it, but I appreciate the reminder. I also appreciate that you remember, my friend. Very thoughtful. You and Eric Lapointe both remember for me. Let's see. Loli says, I go to this gym and use the machines and free weights. I've been going with my older brother. He has been going for 2 years, so he helps me out a lot. Great. Always good to have a mentor and someone that can show you how to do things. Eric Point says, true. Yeah, so, let's say that we had societal collapse. Burpee Reaper would look exactly like he does now. Because he doesn't need anything. I'm not saying everyone should just do bodyweight stuff, but what I mean, he doesn't, need anything is that he's not trying to be bulky. He's not trying to be, anything other than a fitness machine with as much muscle as he needs, but no more. So yeah, to me, yeah, I can understand coming in here and you look at an old white guy and you say, gain some weight. An old white vegan, gain some weight, eat some meat. I can understand that. I don't understand going and looking at someone like Burpee Reaper and saying, lift some weights, bro. Eat some meat, bro. T says, let's say there's some nice bodies around. Alka says, I'm getting the word. What is the word, my friend? What's the good word? I went off on a bit of a tangent earlier, talking about love and choice and free will. I'm afraid I probably drove a bunch of people away. I am known on occasion to go off on tangents. I try to make sure that they are worthwhile tangents, hopefully, but I can't make any guarantees. I don't know if I'd call it a tangent, a sermon, a rant. So I certainly can't blame anyone for heading elsewhere to a rant-free. What I need to do is learn how to put it in rap form, because then I'd get a point across and it would be entertaining and musically sound. Eric Point says, I thought it was thumbs up. Thank you, Eric. Much appreciated. Let's see. T says, sorry, I missed it. Nurse came to my side. Eric Point says, now you're thinking. Well, you know, I think with modern YouTube, you got to do something to stand out. So maybe the rapping Yogi? Just a Yogi rapping in his basement? I don't know. What do you guys think? It's my opinion. People do things all wrong. People say, well, first you got to learn how to rap. I say no. First you got to have the title. Then you got to get the audience. Then you got to get the close down right. You got to get the appearance. Then you got to get all the equipment for the rapping. And then you learn how to rap. Or you wing it. The rapping Yogi. All right, we got one vote for the rapping Yogi. Do we have just a rapping Yogi, just a Yogi rapping in his basement? Is that better? Eric Point says this all checks out. It perfect sense. She says, Yogi, can you sing? Can I sing or can I sing well? It's really two separate questions. Asking me, I say no, I can't sing. If Mocha was here, she would say yes, he has a good voice. I don't have a good voice. I can sing certain songs if I practice where they sound reasonably non-offensive. I think that's the best that can be said. On occasion, with the right song, and I'm talking like Neil Diamond songs. I'm talking John Denver songs. I'm talking songs where I don't have to display a whole lot of talent, a whole lot of rhythm, a whole lot of, I try to make up for lack of talent with volume. Seems to be the best approach. If I can't sing well, I can at least sing loud. Which actually doesn't work either, because Mocha would say, you don't do anything loud. Which is true. I don't do anything, y'all. I don't do anything loud. T says, Yogi, what would the outfit be? I'd have to do some research. The rappers still dress the way they did in the 80s. Are my hammer pants still in style? If I were to show up on YouTube in my hammer pants, would everyone be impressed? Man, look at Yogi. He still has it. he's still rocking those hammer pants, or would I be laughed off of YouTube? If I broke out my Vanilla Ice parachute pants, would I still be fashionably elite? Bill Lee says you have to find songs that fit your voice. That's what Mocha says. Which is why I do stuff like karaoke. I had a karaoke machine and I would actually practice. Mocha's a wonderful singer and she loves karaoke. T says, Yogi with a flat cap came to mind. I'm going to put that down. I should write that in my little book here. And of course, all my rap songs are going to be yogic based. So the true talent won't be rapping. It's going to be rhyming things in Sanskrit. That might be a little difficult. So T, my friend, you've been missed here the past few days, past week, I believe. I know you've been going through some stuff, so been holding you. We've been giving prayers, but just to let you know that your presence has been missed. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad it's a nice, relaxed chat for you, my friend. T says, is that a message from Mocha saying no to the rap? Just joking when you said the hammer trousers. T says, rap about breathing techniques. It could do a yoga nidra rap. That would not only put me on the map in the rap world, imagine what it would do in the yoga world. Revolutionize the technique. Guided rap meditation. Man, you guys have just filled me up with possibilities tonight. Who knows? My channel is now wide open. Who knows what's going to happen? Lil Eid gives us... Now, I have been told that the sad emoji is actually a laughing emoji, right? Am I mistaken with that? I am old. T says, thanks, Yogi. We'll talk soon. It's been a very hard days, very hard days, very, very hard days regarding grief, and it's not over yet. I'll message you. I'll be here for you. Rapping Yogi doing yoga nidra. I think it could be a winner. T says the sad and tears. I know our friend Flower tries to guide me in the modern world of what is what, and I do my best. Now, according to the younger people, it's actually switched around somewhat now. William says, hey, Yogi, and hey, channel. William, how are you? So another possibility is starting a Burpee boys band. Everyone has a theme. We have the Connecticut Lumberjack, Eric LaPointe. We have the Burpee Reaper. He could be the rap guy. I think I might be better suited to manager. I could manage the Burpee boy band. Lee says this can be laughing, just like really hard laughing. That's what our friend Flower said. Thank you for that. I'm glad that I got a good laugh from you, my friend. T says, Loli, thanks for educating me. I'm getting old. Me and you both. However, we got young friends keeping us hip, keeping us happening. T says, Yogi Burpee could be wax on, wax off, the Karate Kid with his polishing cars. This is true. T says, is that flour? That is not flour. Speaking of the Karate Kid, first 5 episodes of season 6 of Cobra Kai is on Netflix. I haven't watched it. I haven't watched anything in a long, long time. I think the last series I watched at completion was the last season of The Bear, as well as last season, or almost the half season, of Reservation Dogs, which I really enjoy. I like FX shows quite a bit. Not all of them, but a lot of them stands out. The Bear, last season was a fantastic, but it's hard to watch. It's an emotionally distraught show that draws you in, so if you're emotionally on the edge, I don't recommend it. So, I think, guys, with the declaration of my new direction of my channel, we'll probably call it a night. However, I want to hear about William Hart. He's ecstatic right now. Gluttonously, not a word that I say often, just consumed a piece of sprouted legume toast with no oil added, dry roasted almond butter, and blueberries. Wow, that really does sound good. That is definitely a meal after my own heart. That would be perfect in a race, in an ultra race, to have in an aid station. Give you lots of fuel, lots of energy. T says, yes, Yogi, I started watching Pitch Perfect on Netflix. I was having a dance in my bed the other night. Hid from the nurse, my jiggle. That's like somatic dancing. Dancing through the... Saying hi to my cat. Dancing through the trauma. William says, new direction of channel. Let me run this by William before I say goodnight. The rapping yogi. Just a yogi rapping in his basement. We haven't directly picked out a title yet. That's the working theme. Maybe we'll have William Downey as the featured guitarist. William says, hi, Yogi. Let's stay on a few more minutes because we got some people coming in. T says, William Hart, sounds interesting. Glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, me too. I know you've been disappointed a bit. T says, Yogi, tell me more about somatic dancing when we speak, please. I will. And I actually have a course, another course that I'm not quite finished yet, along with the Yoga Nidra. Somatic breath work, which is a way of breathing through trauma. Very gentle approach, because you don't want to expose dramatically trauma. You want to gently bring things to the surface, just enough so that each level can be addressed, no more. We never want to be overwhelmed with the possibility of healing. We always want that little bit, and then we heal it, and then a little bit more, and then we heal it. Battle rapping. Battle rapping. I like the sound of that. William Downey says, along with Boo Boo as Yogi's sidekick. Perfect. that would be perfect. Boo Boo and Jellystone Park. I'm not even sure. I can't even remember why I started talking about rapping. Why I started talking about me being because I went on a rant, and I don't even remember what I went on a rant about. Um, and I thought that maybe a lot of people decided to head to a different live a different live stream other than my own. Um, and Eric Lapointe says no, he thought it was good, and I said, well, maybe I should go with a new direction. And then I started a whole nother rant about rapping, being the rapping yogi. So it just went from one bad rant to another bad rant. T says, Yogi, if you're free to talk tomorrow, I think you could answer something very much needed with what I've been through. Definitely. We'll definitely talk tomorrow. T says, if yoga or breathing techniques can help with. Yeah, we'll definitely talk, and we'll see. Breathing can take us so deep on the healing path. Whatever the issue is, at the very least, breathing can be an aid. Breathing can ease us through. Because guess what? You're gonna be breathing anyway. So why not do it efficiently? And why not do it in a way that it might be able to address the issue? William says, hello to Bumblebee T. T says, hello to William. I came into William's live stream just in time to have him yell. And I thought, man, why is William yelling? And then I saw that he was actually reading someone who was writing in all caps. So he wasn't yelling, he was just being authentic in the reading. Let's see. T says, Yogi, defo talk. Yep, tomorrow for sure. William says he's laughing out loud. William Downey was shouting. Technically, he wasn't shouting. He was just, I was being me, Yogi. Exactly. It's been my experience, if you're going to be a William Downey, be an authentic William Downey. And there is no one more authentically William Downey than our friend William Downey. And I mean that sincerely. Because you know what? You're not going to find a nicer guy on YouTube. That's for sure. I've seen him welcome everyone warmly and graciously on his live streams. T says, thanks WWD. Or it says, crazy me and spontaneous. That's the way to be. And really, that's the only way to be spontaneous. That's the only way to be authentic, is to be spontaneous. Because if you have to think about it, are you being authentic? I was talking to Mocha this afternoon, Amy Klobuchar, who's a senator from, I believe, Minnesota. Might be wrong. Might be Michigan. It might be Wisconsin. Not a political opinion. I'm not saying she's a good senator or a bad senator or whatever, but she ran for president, I believe, in 2020. Didn't get very far. And she was at a fundraiser campaign rally in North Carolina, and she was eating chicken. And she looked around and she saw everyone eating chicken differently than her. I think she might have been using a knife and fork. Everyone else was just picking up a drumstick or a wing and they were just eating. So she sent her people to go around and say, how do people eat chicken here? She needed to get other people's opinions on how to eat chicken. She couldn't just eat her chicken. Um, and that's why she didn't do very well. Because, any politician, and again, I'm not getting political, um, at least they are authentic in who they are. You might dislike them, and you might have a perfect reason to dislike them, but at least they're authentically being who they are, for the most part. William says, yes, to Bumblebee T. Yep. Wolf says, hi, William, Downey, and Bumbles. William says, did you ask Mocha about readings? I have not. Remind me tomorrow, please. William says, hey to Wolf. So yeah, authentic, spontaneous, they go hand in hand. This is why, and I mention it often, Abraham Maslow, who is considered the father of positive psychology. He put out William says, good night, everyone. Take care. See you, William. Glad you enjoyed your toast and your almond butter and blueberries. Abraham Maslow is the one who did the hierarchy of needs. That I think it's often in most college psychology classes. And he was asked once, he was a big proponent of what he called self-actualization, becoming your authentic self. And he was asked, what is a self-actualized person? And he said the self-actualized person is independent of the good opinion of others. Meaning he just is. And it doesn't change. If you have a good opinion of him, he stays the same. If you have a bad opinion of him, he stays the same. He has to be who he is. He went further to say that a self-actualized person self-actualizes because he doesn't have a choice. It's what he does. It's what we all do to varying degrees. William says, I have to say this. What do we got, William? T said good night to William Hart. William Downey says, this is the first time I've seen you caught up with the chat, Yogi. Nice. That's because it wasn't always this way. You're absolutely right. It does not happen often. But what happened is we actually had a bunch of people and I fell really behind. And then I went off on a rant about something and a lot of people left. And there were so few people that it was actually, for a while, it was Eric LaPointe and Bumblebee T that it was easy to get caught up on. But you know what, William? I celebrate the small victories in life. So yes, I am caught up in the chat. And I received praise for my live stream ability from William Downey. I'm going to take it. I'm going to take that as a big compliment. Thank you, my friend. Once again, you got a big laugh from me, William. T says, the Burpee Reaper, how are you, Lewis? William says, I love it not being bombarded with questions. I've thought about trying to slow the chat down. I don't know how to do it. Someone said it's not worth it. So far, everyone's been really patient. I think I had one person uh, who didn't seem. Um, you know what? I'm gonna I'm an acquired taste. I can admit that. I'm an acquired taste. Wolf says, okay, now he's making excuses for being caught up. That got a good laugh too, Wolf. Reaper says he's doing great. Oh man, both you guys got me laughing. T says, Lewis, I have a decent song request. Labis Safri, never heard of that. Something inside so strong. Back to the 70s. Nice. William says, you make me smile and laugh. Yogi, that's why I keep coming back. I'm glad to hear that. Man, we certainly need things to laugh about these days, don't we? So I'm glad. I'm glad that we can all come here and be lighthearted. Even the most serious stuff I say, I try to be lighthearted about it. Even the most serious stuff I say, doesn't mean it's true. I take it all in stride. T says, Reaper getting a bit more mobility, but had a few tough days regarding grief. T's laughing at Wolf, laughing with Wolf. Reaper says, it's good to hear, T. Hope you recover 100%. T says, Yogi, I've sent it to you twice. The song? Oh, let me go back in our chat. It did not recognize the title, but I know when I play it, I'll recognize it again, because I did play it when you sent it to me. Let's see. William Hart says, Yogi, serious question. Shoot, my friend. T says, Reaper, see song request. Couldn't find it Sunday. Reaper says, okay, T. William says, Mr. Burpees. Let's see. T says, Reaper, I need housing sorted. I hope that's coming. I hope that's coming along, T. William Hart says, do you have a amount projected you would like to secure for the year? Not totally. William says it's almost August, so about 4 months left. So we're talking financially. I mentioned before, and I've talked about this with Mocha and some other people. If I made $1,000 to $1,200 a month on YouTube, which is supposed to be entirely possible at a certain point, you just need to keep courting the algorithms, getting things that catch the attention. It would be nice if I could say catch the attention of people, but algorithms aren't people. That would be the equivalent of people in a different circumstance making $50,000 a year. That would largely cover my expenses. That's also counting the money I make teaching meditation and breath work and stuff. Let's see. T says Reaper housing or better mobility. Get physio tomorrow to try something new. That's a basic need. T says Yogi, I think people on multi-platforms helps income too. Yeah, probably so. I don't know anything about multi-platforms. I barely know anything about this platform. Um, so I'm literally putting all my eggs in one basket. Not two. Putting all my eggs in one basket. I didn't want to get William Downey. I know all of a sudden his head perked up and was like, did someone say eggs? Is Eric going to cook some eggs? Is Yogi going to have like a Yogi scrambled omelet? And I say scrambled omelet because every omelet I've ever attempted to make turned into scrambled eggs. One flip and it all falls apart, and I'm like, the heck with it, and I just scramble it all up. William Hart says, laughing out loud, eggs. William Downey, we get the smiling faces. Man, I don't know how people make such perfect omelets. And I've seen some really gorgeous looking omelets. Never happened to me. William hasn't had any eggs yet. Well, it's still relatively early for you. William says, I have not yet successfully made an omelet. I'd like to encourage you. I'd like to say, well, you're still young. However, I am no longer so young. I'm not. I joke about being old. I'm not really old. I don't really feel old. Um, However, if I hadn't made a perfect omelet by the age of 59, it's very doubtful that I'm ever. It doesn't even have to be a perfect omelet. It just needs to look like an omelet. Someone could look at it and go, man, that's the ugliest omelet I've ever seen. But at least they would recognize it as an omelet. And I would be happy. I'd be like, oh, you see, it's an omelet. Awesome. And well, for one, I don't make omelets anymore. I could, because they have vegan eggs. Let's see. T says, Yogi, you gotta be careful of tax. Yep, I'm gonna keep that in mind. Thank you, though. T says they don't eat old eggs, only whole eggs, only eggs in cake or biscuits. Alana is back. Welcome back, my friend. Roy says, Downey, have you tried soy marinated eggs or mayak eggs? Interesting. Roy says, no, it's not. If not in the morning, wait until tomorrow. Let's see. Wolf says, Yogi, you cover multiple outlets, at least 3. Yoga, nature, and wisdom. Well, thank you for that. Wolf? Yeah, I hadn't considered that. Wolf says, welcome back, Alana. William says no to Mr. H, our friend William. Lana says thanks. Lana likes eggs. Awesome. Many people consider egg being the perfect food. It has the perfect balance of protein, just enough. It's a very, very, it's also a bioavailable protein. Your body absorbs it well. I know lots of people, plant-based or even close to being vegan, who add eggs into the diet. Very successful. Let's see. Wolf says you just need to find a way to separate them. Yeah, I need to research this. I appreciate that. Wolf, I need to think outside of the box. Wolf says, I got that down. Mr. H, I love it. Made it into the FBI. T says, Wolf, and if on other platforms too. MIB? What is MIB? That's what Alana wants to know. That's what, oh, Men in Black. There we go. Alana says, thanks again. Leo's here. Leo says, let's go, baby. Good evening, Yogi, the goat. Much love, brother, and hope your day was great, my guy. Thank you, Leo. It was. How about you? William says, easily digested. Yes, definitely. Let's see. Men in Black was a good movie series. Anything with, Tommy Lee Jones is one of those actors. If it's a bad movie and Tommy Lee Jones is in it, the movie is elevated just by him being in it. Same with Robert Duvall. There's a few actors like that. Bill Murray. There's lots of bad movies that maybe Bill Murray has been in, but Bill Murray has never been bad in any bad movie, if that makes sense. Wolf's a separate yet same platform. Alana says, I love Men in Black. Leo says, what's up, Yogi fam? Nothing but love and good vibes to you all. Thank you, my friend. William says, have to run, Yogi. Please take care, and we'll hopefully see you tomorrow. Thank you, William. I appreciate you stopping by and really appreciate the laugh, my friend. We're going to call it a night as well. Lana says she has a new car, a BMW. I think you mentioned that because I remember saying I really like BMWs. They're nice cars. William says, definitely agree with Bill Murray. Goat is greatest of all times. T says, cheese is the best food. William says, good night, Mr. D. And good night. William says, good night, Bumble. So, yep, guys, with that, I think we'll call it a night. I'm actually surprised I made it this long. I was about to sign off more than half an hour ago, almost 40 minutes ago, I think. But it was worth it. It was fun. I'm glad I did. Anytime I get the opportunity to laugh like that is time well spent. We talked about with T before, laughter truly, truly being the best medicine. Dr. Norman Cousins wrote a book about actually curing himself from a life-threatening illness through the power of laughter. And I got a big laugh from Roy Downey. I got a big laugh from Wolf, as well as Eric LaPointe and Bumblebee T. Definitely had me laughing when we were talking about starting a new direction of the channel. The rapping Yogi, doing burpees in his basement. Combining everything I love. Burpees and rapping. Definitely made me laugh, and I appreciate that, guys. So with that, we're going to say goodnight. Wolf says, it's always hard to leave the party early. You're right about that. That's true. I lived that all through the 90s. I never left a bar or a party early or sober. T says, Yogi left you a message regarding how yoga breathing might help. I'll definitely check it out. Probably have to, I'll reply in the morning for sure. Lana says, okay, night, my dear friend. Good night to you, my dear friend. Appreciate your presence. Mr. MF Dreadson says, I'm in and out. Just dropping the thumbs up. I appreciate that, Dreadson, my friend. T says, Wolfie, no one sits baby in the corner. This is true. Dredson's on the move. Peace to you, my friend. Get a thumbs up from T. Guys, y'all have a good night. I'm going to see everyone tomorrow. If you're around, hey, 5 o'clock in the morning, we're going to cover verse 55 of the Tao. We're getting closer and closer. After we work through the Tao Te Ching, I'm thinking about covering the 7 spiritual laws of success from Deepak Chopra. But we'll see. I'm open to suggestions. Guys, take care. Thank you. Appreciate your company tonight.